Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. Greetings of His Majesty the Sultan to His Highness the Emir of State of Kuwait are conveyed by His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs. The Sultanate's speech before the International Labour Conference stresses on its efforts to preserve environment and enhance economic diversification. The GCC efforts continue to contain the diplomatic crisis between Qatar and Saudi Arabia, UAE and Bahrain. And 12 people are killed in attacks claimed by the Daesh group in Iran. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Mohammed Wald Abdel Aziz of Mauritania in reply to His Majesty's cable of condolences on the death of former Mauritanian President Ali Wald Mohammed Fall. Greetings of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, Emir of State of Kuwait, are conveyed by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, when he and his accompanying delegation were received by the Emir of Kuwait. His Highness the Emir of Kuwait requested His Excellency to convey his greetings and best wishes to His Majesty the Sultan of good health, happiness and long life. During the meeting, they discussed the bilateral relations between the Sultanate and Kuwait, as well as the march of cooperation to serve the joint interest of both countries. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sultan bin Salim Al Habsi, Secretary General of Supreme Council for Planning, and a number of officials from both sides. The visit of the Omani delegation to Kuwait came within the framework of the Omani-Kuwait Joint Committee programs. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, received His Excellency Hans Christian Fahir von, Ambassador of Germany, to the Sultanate to bid him farewell at the end of his tour of duty as his country's ambassador to the Sultanate. During the meeting, His Excellency the Minister of Diwan of Royal Court thanked the ambassador for his efforts that contributed in enhancing the relations between both countries, wishing him all the best. On his part, the ambassador of Germany expressed his thanks for the cooperation extended to him during his mission in the Sultanate, which had enabled him to carry out his duties. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser Al Bakri, Minister of Manpower, delivered the Sultanate's speech before the International Labour Conference in Geneva City in Switzerland. The speech stressed on the Sultanate's efforts to preserve the environment through the application of renewable energy projects, pointing out that the partnership between the government and private sector is significant to enhance the productive sectors and economic diversification, in addition to providing job opportunities. The Sultanate participates in the conference with 3 delegations represented in the Ministry of Manpower, Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Oman International Trade Union Confederation. Importing agricultural products directly from the country of origin through border crossings to local market led to the abundance and diversity of these products. Cost of storage and reshipping were reduced. A number of consumers said that prices of some products are still high, while some traders affirmed that the prices of some agricultural products declined to more than half. Concerned bodies are present all the day in the market to detect any violations from some traders. Measures were taken to organize the entrance of vegetables and fruits to the Sultanate and ensure its safety and their validity for consumption. The Ministry of Tourism announced 3 tenders to prepare tourism development schemes in a number of governorates in the Sultanate. The pre-rehabilitation and consultancy services tenders offered by the ministry aim to know projects needed by residential areas to be easily offered by the Ministry for Investment. These areas are in the Governorate of Muscat, wilayas of Sur and Masira in the Governorate of South Sharqiya, Nizwa and Jebel Shams in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. The phases of the project included the preparation of general touristic schemes, the analysis of current situation of the site and its attraction, readiness of the site and local community to attract tourists, setting up an investment plan, determining its needs of recreational projects, hotels and infrastructure. Within the Gulf efforts to contain the crisis between Qatar and Saudi Arabia, UAE and Bahrain, His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, heads to United Arab Emirates. Yesterday, His Highness the Emir of the State of Kuwait paid a visit to Jeddah city, during which he met the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, and they held a talk session with the aim to bring points of views closer, as well as solve this crisis, in addition to strengthening the brotherly ties among Gulf countries. Gunmen and suicide bombers stormed Iran's parliament and the shrine of its revolutionary leader today, killing 12 people in the first attacks in the country claimed by the Daesh group. Dozens were injured in the attacks, which targeted two of Iran's most potent symbols, its parliament complex in central Tehran and the mausoleum of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, who led the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The standoff lasted around 5 hours before all the gunmen holed up in parliamentary office buildings were killed. The assaults began mid-morning when 4 gunmen burst into the parliament complex, killing a security guard and 1 other person. An Interior Ministry official said they were dressed as women and entered through the visitors' entrance. One eventually exploded a suicide vest, while the others were killed by security forces. Parliament was in session as the violence unfolded and members were keen to show they were undeterred. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Ministry of Tourism prepares for Kharif tourism season in the Governorate of Dhofar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The civil defense was able to control a fire in the Khuwair area in the wilaya of Bushar in the Governorate of Muscat. The operations center of the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance pointed out that the fire started in a residential commercial building near a petrol station, which injured 3 individuals with minor burns, and 3 vehicles were burned and destroyed a number of commercial shops. The crew of Royal Navy of Oman's ship Shabab Oman II concluded several naval activities during its anchoring at Almeria City Port in Spain. They exchanged visits with senior officials in the city. Activities of the ship were widely covered in Spanish newspaper and various media means. The ship will receive visitors tomorrow who will be able to tour its exhibits of handicraft products, photos and booklets that reflect the Omani people's life with its deep-rooted past and brilliant present. The Sultanate witnesses increase in temperatures during summer season, which may lead to the occurrence of some traffic accidents due to vehicle breakdown. Lack of regular maintenance of vehicle engine may cause traffic accidents such as vehicle combustion. Experts advise drivers to check the engine on a regular basis. The high rise in temperature also affects vehicle tires due to direct friction with the surface of the road that may cause the burning of the tire and its explosion. It is necessary in such cases to check air pressure of tires and its condition and choose high-quality tires on regular basis. One of the most common mistakes at fuel filling stations is not switching off the vehicle engine, which may lead to the burning of the vehicle. The Ministry of Tourism is preparing for Al-Kharif tourism season in the Governorate of Dhofar by implementing several service projects and maintenance of facilities and focusing on the development of the accommodation sector in the Governorate. The Director General of Tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar has recently held a meeting with officials of hotel establishments in the Governorate to discuss its readiness for the tourist season, which starts from June 21st to September 21st each year. It also provides various services to visitors during Kharif season, namely providing temporary tourist information centers, permanent centers at land ports, and others. Among touristic places in Dhofar is El Balid Tourist Resort, which is located in El Balid Archaeological Park, listed in UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The resort is the first luxury villas resort in Salalah and contains 40 hotel rooms, including 30 rooms with sea view, as well as various multi-purpose halls, along with a range of restaurants and facilities, which will contribute to the development of the level of hotel services for visitors to Salalah. It is worth mentioning that 80% of the Salalah Mall project, a 230-acre touristic project and hotel suites, has been completed, and 60% of the Damar Resort project, a 3-star environmental project and 80 hotel rooms, has also been completed. The Directorate General of Tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar is following upon the projects that have been completed, such as the walk in El Dahari's beach, a teen park, and maintenance projects of springs of Darbat, Sahel Noot, Garziz, and natural sites in Al Mughassail area. Here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers at 3:52 a.m. and Maghrib prayers at 6:57 p.m. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of scattered rainfall over the governorates of South Sharqiya, Wusta, and Dhofar. Winds will be northeasterly to easterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Greetings of His Majesty the Sultan to His Highness the Emir of State of Kuwait are conveyed by His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs. The Sultanate's speech before the International Labour Conference stresses on its efforts to preserve environment and enhance economic diversification. The GCC efforts continue to contain the diplomatic crisis between Qatar and Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Bahrain. And 12 people are killed in attacks claimed by the Daesh group in Iran. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.